Hey guys, it's me, the Mega Doctor, here with my friend.
Captain Correct 103.
And today is the first episode that we are doing of this podcast type video stuff. And if you watched the last episode, we are going to be doing the SCP stuff. And Captain Crex will get us started with SCP-001.
SCP-001 is yet to be classified. It's multiple different proposals at the moment, one of them being true while the rest are false. But, like I said, it's yet to be classified.
And one of the more popular beliefs of what SCP-001 is guarding the gates to Eden.
An angel guarding the gates to Eden.
Yes, and...
to the gates to the Garden of Eden, which, for some reason, Cain and Abel, one of the other SCPs, aren't allowed to get close to, without being damaged.
And within that, there is another SCP called SCP-001-2, which is a sword that will smite anyone who comes near it. But we won't get too much into the lore of what we think of it because it is religious, and we don't want to offend people. So, moving on to SCP-002, which is the living room, and it is the class Euclid. Euclid. And as it says, it is a living room. But not in your common sitting living room. This is the living room that is made out of, what is it?
Let's just say remains of creatures.
Humans, creatures, other SCPs. So basically what happens is you walk into this room and it starts devouring you. And it will turn your guts, arms, legs, anything, any organ or any part of your body into
piece of furniture, either couch to the smallest of stool.
Possibly a table, some chairs, maybe a lamp, who knows. It is pretty weird. And we are using, just so you guys know, the scpwiki.net site, because obviously this is where the good SCP stuff comes from, so we're just letting that out so that people aren't like, oh, where are you guys getting this information? We're letting you know.
SCP-002 resembles a tumorous fleshy growth with a volume of roughly 60 meters cubed or 2,000 feet cubed. An air valve on one side leads to its interior, which appears to be a standard low-rent apartment of modest size. One wall of the room possesses a single window, though such opening is visible from the exterior. The room contains furniture which, up close examination, appears to be sculpted bone, woven hair, and various other biological substances produced by the human body. All matter tested thus far show independent or fragmented DNA sequences for each object in the room. Refer to the Mulhausen report, cross-reference document 00.023.603 for details related to the object's discovery.
Interesting. So, through that, basically, as we said, it is basically a house, a small house made out of human organ stuff. And right here, it also talks about that it has to be connected to a suitable power supply at all times to keep it what appears to be in sort of like a charging mode. And if it is not connected, you're to shut down the area around it and get it evacuated, because it just isn't good. Let's see. It just sends out bursts of X-ray and ultraviolet light.
Must strobe the area until SCP-002 is reaffixed to the power supply and returned to charging mode. Containment area is to be kept at negative air pressure at all times.
So basically, if it doesn't have a good source of energy, then it basically goes on a rampage.
Let's just say it's a gigantic orb with flesh in it.
Yes. Okay. Next SCP. SCP-003. 3.
SCP-003, Object Class Euclid, Special Containment Procedures. SCP-003 is to be maintained at a constant temperature of no less than 35 degrees Celsius, and ideally kept above 100 degrees Celsius. No living multicellular organisms of Category 4 or higher complexity may be allowed to come into contact with SCP-003. In
And
event of total power
we don't have
failure,
to read the whole thing. Because mostly.
Yeah. I'm not done. If SCP-003-1 begins to increase its mass, assigned personnel must engage in skin contact with 003-1. All this. SCP-003 is a biological motherboard,
Yeah.
basically.
The description is it consists of two related components of separate origin, referred to as SCP-003-1 and -2. It appears to be composed of chitin, hair, and nails of unknown biology, arranged in a configuration similar to that of a computer motherboard. Testing reveals SCP-001-3 to predate earliest known circuit boards by a factor of thousands of years. It is also considered sentient, but not actively dangerous except under certain conditions. It was found on a stone tablet and SCP-003-2, on which it currently resides. The runes of SCP-003-2 are not part of any known language and emit a pale, flickering patterns. It is also controlled by an internal computer, and the contents of which are mostly inaccessible without risk of damaging the SCP itself. SCP-003-2 is capable of controlled emissions of radiation, including heat, light, anonymous radiation types, and contains an internal power source of an anomalous nature, which appears to have been losing power since several centuries before discovery. It is considered probable that 003-2 was created for the purpose of containing SCP-003-1. Particularly interpreted data recovered from SCP-2 may refer to a past and or potential future LK class resurrecting event caused by 003-1.
Restructuring event.
Restructuring, yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot, but here.
There's a lot, but this is what we think of it, and since it's our podcast thing, we can say what we want.
SCP-003-1's biology has been the subject of extensive study. Significant elements have been identified, similar to SCP...
Redacted.
Yeah, redacted. SCP...
1512
and SCP-2756. The latter of the two, which have no further confirmed connection with SCP-003-1 and no known connection with each other, and none of which are fully understood. And that's where I'm going to stop.
There's just a few other things. So just more boring stuff. So basically, it's just a motherboard that has two parts of it, one containing the other, so that they don't go crazy and emit too much radiation and light, so that it doesn't damage other people. Which, I mean, makes sense, they're helping each other out, you gotta keep them safe. Let's go down to SCP-00-8, or 008, the zombie plague. Actually, no. Yeah, let's do that, then we'll go to the Fountain of Youth, which is 006.
You're dodging the 12 rusty keys in
Yeah,
the
no,
door.
I'm skipping some of them, because we can go back in other videos.
The skeletal key can open any door.
Okay, well, we can't do -8 because you need level 4 clearance. Please import. Ooh, I got it. Aha.
What?
You just click a button. Alright, it is in a Euclid. SCP SCP-008.
Well, back to 001, see if there's anything that I can press.
This is... Which one is 8-8? The Fountain of Youth? No. This is the zombie plague. Okay. It is in a Euclid. The samples of SCP-008 have been deemed Class V extreme biological hazards, and all related
protocols apply incineration and irradiation measures will be deployed in event of political or military action, which may result in the facility being dismantled, a power failure, or zero communications from operatives or outside channels during any given 8-hour period.
The quarantine period for operatives leaving the facility is 4 months. If a breach has occurred, incineration and irradiation measures shall be deployed. The description is a complex prion, samples of which are stored in each of the known G2 sites. Research into SCP-008 is highly classified and primarily aimed at preventing research which may lead to the synthesis of the SCP in the distant future. Traits of it include 100% infectiveness, 100% lethality, which means that no matter what, it will infect you, and no matter what, you will die. And obviously, as we know about zombies, you are alive but dead at the same time. You come back, but you have just an unsatisfactory hunger.
Let's see, symptoms of infection with SCP-008 manifest no more than 3 hours after exposure, and include flu-like symptoms with higher fever plus severe dementia in later stages, coma onset proximity approximately 20 hours after first symptoms appear and 12 hours after noticeable dementia. Coma onset will be considered onset of death. A period of sporadic cellular necrosis occurs, which comes to resemble gangrene. Surviving tissue assumes its original function, and it's highly resilient. Red blood cells greatly increase oxygen storage capacity, resulting in slower blood flow and increased muscle endurance and strength. Nervous and muscular systems are unaffected by total organ failure for several hours. Metabolism may decrease to extremely low levels, allowing subject to survive over 10 years without nutrition. High blood viscosity results in negligible blood flow from gunshot, puncture, or slashing injuries. Conditioned behavior, motor controls, and instinctive behavioral mechanisms are damaged, and cognitive abilities are severely retarded and erratic. Animals experience excessive brain necrosis and are inactive.
Okay.
1 minute, let me catch my breath. Okay. Subject can adapt to its damaged nervous system but is limited to basic physical activities including standing up, balancing on 2 legs, walking, biting, grabbing, and crawling. Subject will energetically move towards sights, sounds, and smells it associates with living humans. Subject will attempt to ingest living humans if physical contact is made. Neutralizing fully infected subjects require significant cranial trauma.
Okay. And this SCP is also transmitted through exposed mucous membranes in pretty much every single body fluid out there. It is not airborne or waterborne, so unlike The Walking Dead or Z Nation, if you've seen them, Z Nation, they are super fast zombies, and it's spread through bites and stuff like normal. The Walking Dead, they've always had the disease, it just happened to come out one day. So this one's basically no one has it until it gets escaped. Oh, like Resident Evil, if you've seen that, when they fill the tube and it gets airborne. This will not do that. Pretty much, I'm guessing you'll have to digest this one for it to actually start doing anything. So even if it gets exposed, you should be pretty safe as long as you don't touch it, breathe it in. Well, by breathing it in, more like drinking it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It can be dangerous though. A zombie apocalypse is not a good thing. And maybe that's another topic we'll talk about at some point in another podcast. Zombie apocalypse, what to do, what not to do, best items to have, who to stick with, just, that type of stuff.
Well, at least it ain't Lobo. Lobo can regenerate from his own blood. So basically, you can't really kill him.
Okay, now let's go on to SCP-006, which is the Fountain of Youth. It is a safe. It is classified as safe. Special containment procedures. Whereas the nature of SCP-006 does not warrant any extensive containment, a certain level of security is necessary regarding the object's existence and properties. For obvious reasons, the following procedures are required not for personal safety, but to deny or hide knowledge of the SCP and the effects of the people who interact with it. Because, as you know, the lore behind the Fountain of Youth is you bathe in it or you drink it, you become youth. You are young forever, and you stay young. And
Well,
even
actually,
if you're
it's
old,
not forever. You have to, every once in a few years, come back to it.
yeah, well, pretty much as long as you, it's sort of like the elixir of life from Harry Potter. As long as you keep taking it, you will stay alive. Except the Fountain of Youth keeps you young. But what age, I don't really know because we haven't read it yet. And also, unlike Harry Potter, you get older, but as you get older, you're still staying alive. If you've seen the Harry Potter movies, I'm not going to spoil anything too much. 1. All personnel interacting with the SCP in any physical way are required to wear modified Class 5 BNC suits. Before personnel are allowed to perform procedures, they must be briefed with material SCP-006-B or C. 006A briefing is the correct one and restricted to only those with O5 clearance. To ensure personnel are wearing suits properly, they are submerged into a pool of water. Any air bubbles spotted signify a leak in the suit. Procedures of SCP-006 are to be carried out under extreme surveillance. In case of contact with SCP-006, the commander in charge will announce Procedure 006 XI-12, which isn't XI like 10?
XI?
Yeah.
11.
Alright. Well, they have it as XI, so. Which the personnel have been briefed to believe to mean high toxicity is present and they must evacuate. Which basically scares them out of it so that they don't mess with it and find out what it actually does. Any procedure in which liquid is acquired from SCP-006 must be approved by 3 O5 level personnel. The liquid is to be transferred in a quad sealant container and under armed guards. If at any time personnel come into contact with the SCP or liquid from it, they are to be confirmed and terminated under sufficient studies are done. Due to the nature of the SCP, the most effective termination method is incineration. Okay. The description is a very small spring located 60 kilometers west of Astrakhan. Foundation Command was aware of its existence since the 19th century, but were unable to secure it until 1991 due to political reasons. Under the spot of the spring, a chemical factory has been constructed as a disguise with the majority of laborers under Foundation/or Russian control. The liquid emitted from the spring has been chemically identified as simple mineral water in 1902, but has the unusual property of health, as it says in there. Ingesting the liquid produces the following properties in human beings: the ability to regenerate DNA damaged by sufficient duplication, heightened excitement of cellular duplication, vastly improved abilities in the repair of damaged tissue, and a frightening increase of the effectiveness of human immune system upon testing the liquid on animal subjects. Hostile bacteria and viral agents are destroyed immediately. Many reptiles and birds are unaffected, while higher primates experience the same benefits as humans. And I will let Captain Krex choose the next few and go over them himself.
1 minute, I'm not done. I'm doing something.
After he finds what he wants to do. So, basically, you drink it, you regenerate everything. It doesn't really say you become youthful or look younger. You just regenerate everything that has been damaged, but it seems like pretty much only primates up to humans are able to use it. So monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, orangutans, all of them. Howler monkeys, like pretty much anything a monkey to human, it pretty much only gets affected by it, unless it's any mammal. But, so, they don't want people to mess with it so that they don't spread what it is, and they're like, everyone wants it, and, you know, maybe if you take too much, you become superhuman. You get extra strength or whatever, you know. Let's see. We've been here for 20 minutes, almost 21 minutes. Okay, we're doing good. Hopefully you guys are enjoying what we're doing so far. Hopefully it sounds good, and hopefully it's just, you know, good in any way. Let us know in the description, in the comments, how we're doing, and possibly some other ideas of what you want us to do. And, you know, if we have enough people watching, then we'll hopefully have a lot of feedback and stuff. Like, what can we change? What can we do to make it better? You know, like maybe different backdrop or just a different area. You know, just something. Maybe I could wear a hat, or he could show his face more. Who knows? So if we go to Series 1 of the SCP, let's see, there's a few other ones. Shadow Person, the Monster Pot, Skinworm, Game Show of Death, What is Love? Baby, don't hurt. I can't sing that because that will get me a copyright strike. I'm not gonna deal with that. Dwarf Star, I'm pretty sure 6-9 is Second Chance. I know what 6-9 is. I already read through this one. Which one is the I think it's 9-6, isn't it? The Shy Guy, yeah. Okay. He'll probably want to go over the Shy Guy, but for now, let's go over SCP-069, Second Chance. I already read over this a few weeks ago. It is safe, classified as safe. It is currently impersonating former Foundation agent Redacted, and is housed at Humanoid Containment Site 06-3. Some stuff's crossed out. As SCP-069 is currently on suicide watch, all requests it makes must be approved by no fewer than 2 level 3 personnel. Okay. So it wants to let's see, what's a good way of saying it without saying commit a deep sleep. Deep sleep. We might have to cut this short because we like to do it when it's quiet, and maybe someone will be here soon, so we might have to cut it short or in the middle of it, but hopefully not. If the SCP attempts to breach containment, it must be subdued using non-lethal methods. If it dies, undercover agents are to be instructed to monitor reports of incidents in which individuals appear to have escaped certain death, and the SCP is to be recontained as soon as possible. Note, despite the fact that it is as identical in all ways to Agent Blank, it remains an active SCP in containment. It is not to be treated as a Foundation employee. Any requests for classified information are to be denied, and visits from former coworkers without proper authorization are not allowed either. Probably to keep it as its own SCP source. It is SCP-069 is a presumed humanoid entity of variable appearance and gender. Although an unknown ability, whenever it is left alone with a recently deep-sleeped human body...
Deceased.
I know, but we're trying to... Well, deceased is fine, but, you know, you're trying to make it more YouTube-friendly, because YouTube likes to take out people who say the other words.
Yeah, I know if you're watching, creators of YouTube.
Hi, FBI agent. If you haven't seen those memes, then...
I know.
it will take on the appearance. So basically, what it does is, if you are recently deep sleeped, then and it's left in a room with you, it will take over your basically what you look like and how you are and act and stuff. It's basically like, if you haven't, for those of you who have watched the show on Netflix, Supernatural, it is like the um, skin changers or whatever, the shapeshifters. They don't need to be with a deep sleep human, but they do need to be in with the human, and they take over what you look like. They get your memories, and they just become you and can wreak havoc. But they were born human, just with extra abilities, and what this does is basically make it look like you have a second chance to live. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Now it is for Captain Krex to do his next ones that he wants to do.
Let's go with
096. Shy Guy. Because you know a lot about Shy Guy.
oh. Let me get to him. 096. The Shy Guy.
And then you can hold this. I'm going to find my other stuff.
Let's see. SCP-096 is to be contained in its cell, a 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter airtight steel cube at all times. Weekly checks for any cracks or holes are mandatory. There are to be absolutely no video surveillance or optical tools of any kind inside of SCP-096's cell. Security personnel will use pre-installed pressure sensors and laser detectors to ensure SCP-096's presence inside the cell. Any and all photos, video, or recordings of SCP-096 likeness are strictly forbidden without approval from Dr. Redacted and O5 Redacted. SCP-096. Well, the description of SCP-096 is a humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. Subject shows very little muscle mass, with preliminary analysis of body mass suggesting mild nutrition. Arms are grossly out of proportion with the rest of the subject's body, with an approximate length of 1.5 meters each. Skin is almost devoid of pigmentation, with no sign of any body hair. SCP-096's jaw can open to 4 times the normal. Well, 4 times the norm of an average human. Basically, his mouth can go from normal size to probably way down here, like towards your torso.
Towards your belly button. So,
yeah.
Halfway to your belly button.
Which would be terrifying if you were the one that looked at his face.
I mean, that is a lot. That would be like a human snake almost.
But it's pretty funny to mess around with SCP-096 in Gmod. Just, well, a certain version of it where you just throw a grenade and they just start running instantly as soon as you did that. Because it's fun. Either you're flying or you're running, it's fun still. Anyways, 1 minute.